Welcome to Country Carnivore. Today's recipe is Chai Crème Brûlée. So there are two variations of this. I'm going to make a very silky, smooth variation, but I'll give you an alternative if you want a more, like a thick, more leaning towards flan-like variation. So this is very simple. What I've done is I've made a cup of chai tea. I use 3 tea bags for the cup, right? So I want it to be very saturated. And the reason I'm doing that is I'm actually making 8 different, individual servings of the creme brulee. So I want to make sure, this is very packed with flavor. The other thing I need is 12 eggs. Now I'm going to use 12 egg yolks. If you want a more dense version, you're going to use 12 eggs, but 3 of those eggs will be whole eggs. And I'll post both versions. I also have a tablespoon of cinnamon and a tablespoon of vanilla. I'm not adding any artificial sweeteners to this. You certainly can. I don't know. I just don't want to do that anymore. Okay, so I've got my oven preheating to 350, and I've got my containers. I have 8 of them. So I'm using these little, I don't know what these are, tiny crocks. You could use ramekins. If that doesn't work for you, you could just use a teacup. Right? Or a coffee cup, whatever this is. My coffee cup's like 20 times bigger than this. Anyway, so it doesn't need to be anything, fancy. But what you are going to do is you're going to put it into a pan and create a water bath. So you want it to be high enough that you can pour about a ½ inch of water in here and it's not going to go into your mixture. Anyway, I'm going to separate these eggs. I've got the eggs separated, so I have 12 eggs in here. I do want to also mention a very important ingredient, which is 4 cups of heavy whipping cream. So I'll get that out. Got my 4 cups of heavy whipping cream. Now I do want to mention that the tea, which is over here, there we go, is cool. So you don't want to put hot tea into the eggs because then you'll just end up making scrambled eggs. And while I do like scrambled eggs, that is not the goal. So make sure it's cooled off. I'm just going to go ahead and I've got my 12 eggs that keep sliding as I turn. There we go. In here, my 12 eggs are in here. I'm just going to mix them up real quick. Kind of break up the yolks. All right. And now I'm going to go ahead and add my 4 cups of heavy whipping cream. I think this entire thing is 4 cups. Let's find out. Don't worry. I have extra if it's not enough. There's still some left. I might drink it. Okay. So we've got our 4 cups incorporated in here. I'm just holding this drippy thing. I don't know what to do with it. That's better. Okay, so I'm going to whisk this. This is not a big deal. You don't need a mixer. I mean, you can use one if you want to, but it's just not that critical. All right, so we've got 12 egg yolks, 4 cups of heavy whipping cream, 1 cup of chai. I'm just going to put that in there. And you could stop there. But why would I stop there when I could have so much more fun with cinnamon and vanilla? So I use pure vanilla extract. I'm putting in a tablespoon. Do you guys find that if you use vanilla and cinnamon, you feel like you're having dessert, right? Even though it's not sweet. It just makes you think of it. Hey, you know what I should have done? The cinnamon before the vanilla, because guess what's wet now? Hold on. 3 teaspoons. All right, teaspoon to the rescue. It's dry, so we'll do this 3 times. That's not tedious. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I just want to mention too that I've got all these egg whites now. Egg whites. Those could be used for, I've got a lemon meringue cookie recipe that's also on this channel. You could use the egg whites for that. The other thing is I'm actually using the creme brulee as a fat fast item for the day. And so following a fat fast, I usually like to do a very high protein day. So I'll use these in my scrambled eggs in the morning just to, use them up and get that really, really high protein while dropping the fat because I ate it the day before. So, okay, this is all together. That's not precarious at all. So now I just want to pour this into my carafe ramekin coffee cup, teacup containers. And this should make 8. If you go onto Carb Manager and you search Country Carnivore Chai Crème Brûlée, it will give you the macros for this. And you'll be able to see the fat count, the protein count. And the recipe that's on there makes 8 servings, just like we're doing now. So when you say how many you ate, 1 serving size is just one of these. These are all poured and they're ready to put in the oven. What I'm going to do is, actually I've got 2 trays here because I couldn't fit all 8 into one pan. I'm going to do the water bath. So I'm just going to use my tea kettle. You can have warm water. That's probably a better idea than cold water. And you're just going to pour water into the pan up to a 1/2 inch. I like to put the pan in the oven first and then pour it in and kind of slide it the rest of the way. That way I'm not walking around with just this big sloshy mess. The other thing is these are very tightly packed. So what I will do is remove one, pour in a little bit of water, and then put it back, right? Just so that I don't risk pouring water into my lovely creme brulee. So that's what I'm going to do. The creme brulees are in. They're going to cook for 45 minutes, and then I will take them out. I'll let them cool, and then I will put them in my refrigerator overnight. So I'll see you tomorrow when we look at the finished product. Thanks. Bye. It's the next day. I just want to show you the texture of this. Scoop this out. Let's see if you can see this. All right. It's very airy, and it's delicious. So I highly recommend you try this. That was a huge bite. So good though.